Yo guys, Tosh here. We are creeping into the CrystalVale launch, now only being 2 days away. Last week, the DFK team was at Summit Avalanche in Barcelona, and there was a lot of juicy information that was dropped that's going to be important for this CrystalVale launch, and also just to be familiar with what is ahead for DeFi Kingdoms. And I'll tell you now, it's looking pretty bullish. Alright, so we've got a lot to cover in this video, so let's hop right into it. Do note, a couple clicks on this video helps me out a lot, and nothing in here is financial advice, and as a disclaimer, I'm pretty heavily invested into Duel. Okay, so Frisky Fox and Dreamer, they teamed up together at Summit Avalanche and gave a huge presentation about all the new features that are going to be occurring pretty soon, and a lot of things, more details about CrystalVale as well. So DeFi Kingdoms, they did put out an article covering all of these. This is kind of like the short version, if you want the short and sweet condensed version of what these things are. And then Sandwich Punch actually got a transcript of everything. And there's a couple more images in here too that we'll look at to show like what some of these products are going to look like. So let's get right into it. So obviously CrystalVale is happening. They did a little bit about their organization and that they're now tied under this Kingdom Studio. So they're actually going to be an official business and organization that's registered that everything is operating through now. Everything is going really well there. They just kind of described the game at first too. And here we get our first new feature is that there are going to be these leaderboards in place. So these are going to be kind of like achievements or certain kind of tasks that you can do. I think every week or so. We'll see like what the exact timelines are. Actually, it looks like we have a daily, weekly, and monthly leaderboards for these as well. So some examples of these might just be fun things with your heroes. So which hero caught the most bloater on a hero by hero basis, or maybe which wallet caught the most bloaters as a different one. Just fun little things like that to add some extra incentives into the game. More hero utility. It looks like we can win some jewel prizes with those too. And also it's just kind of fun social thing to track and have some like those fierce competitions right at the end of it, or like who's going to use like the 2 more stand potions to get the extra bloater or whatever. So it might lead to some fun contests that I think are actually going to be open to more of the community and not just the whales, because the whales aren't going to have time to always participate in those kind of things. All right, next up here, we have heard a little bit about these already, but they did the official announcements for the hero contest and showed some more of the art for that. These are going to be the contest for the LAN tournaments. I'm going to make an official video covering these more extensively in the very near future, so watch out for that. But some of the initial details that you should be aware of for these LAN contests is that each LAN plot is going to have a different kind of tournament, and these are going to be based on one stat, and these are going to be one hero tournament. So for example, they might have the tournament of strength, and essentially you would like to put your highest strength hero at that tournament to have the best chance at rolling and defeating other players in the tournament. And then if you win that tournament, it will give you the ability to buy land. I'm still thinking that this is going to be pretty expensive. So if you're only like, I only have like $1,000 invested into Jewel right now, it's probably not going to cut it, to be honest. I'm estimating that this land price is going to be anywhere between 1,000 and 10,000 Jewel. And I honestly think it's going to be closer to that middle range around 5,000. So we'll see. Just a side note on that too, even today there was a land sale for 30,000 Jewel. So you might think like 5,000 is ridiculous, but hey, that's an instant 6x potential there. It's going to be worth it if you win one of those tournaments. Next part of their teasers is that it looks like pets are actually coming pretty soon. So just a couple quick details on pets that they released is that when you open one of your eggs, that you can get any kind of rarity of a pet as well, and the pet itself is going to be randomized within the selection for that color egg. So for example, let's say, and this isn't factored yet, but let's say the penguins and the frogs come from the blue egg. You could either roll either a penguin or a frog, and then that could be either like common, rare, or mythic. We'll see if they actually have all 5 tiers of that. I could see them simplifying it into maybe 3 tiers, but we'll see when that information comes out. It looks like these are going to be released soon after CrystalVale. That wasn't really too clear on that, but it does seem like these are relatively soon, but maybe not like incredibly soon. But it would be a nice surprise if we got these with CrystalVale too. The next thing that they gave a little bit more information about was the travel system and the combat. Not a whole lot new here, to be honest, than what we've already heard and what I've covered in some of my previous videos. But essentially, there's going to be, you can send your groups of heroes that will have to physically move across the map, and that's going to take a certain amount of time. And then they showed some more of the UI here, where they're going to show like the levels of different PvE spawns in those areas. So you would know, like, hey, if you only have like level 4 heroes, that maybe don't send them over to this area. Was also really cool just to get more art on this combat, and this is going to be the PvE, like the main form of combat that they're gonna have. So it actually looks like really similar to an Axie Infinity setup, where they have all these different kinds of enemies, and then you kind of like face them in lines, and it's going to be some turn-based combat. So these are going to be 3v3 teams. They have noted in the past that they're likely to release PvP before PvE, and that makes sense because with the PvP you just get the system up and running, and then players can combat amongst themselves, where with PvE there's a lot more that goes into designing the quests, building out the lore for it, doing all the art for all the new sprites and everything. So we are likely to see PvP before PvE comes, hopefully not too far in the future. Kingdom Studios, they also announced that they're going to have their merch store open pretty soon, which is pretty exciting. Right now, the only way you can get DFK swag is to either make your own bootleg stuff or attend one of these conferences. Haha, I got some cool shirts and you didn't. But it's cool that the merch store is going to be open pretty soon. And I'll tell you, like, the shirts that they gave out, they're actually really high quality. I wear a lot of band t-shirts. I'm always like, I want the soft cotton. If they don't have soft cotton, it sucks. But these shirts, they're super soft and awesome. So do know that like the merch is going to be really high quality, and I'm excited to see that. Alright, look at this little bullish alert. Now they are working on getting DeFi Kingdoms to integrate with the Coinbase wallet. Oh my gosh. So Coinbase wallet currently has 12 million users on it, and now DeFi Kingdoms is going to be directly accessible through the Coinbase wallet. So we all know that games like this are going to thrive when more players are able to come on. The easier that we can onboard them and get them integrated into our ecosystem, the more that successful we're all going to be, because we're going to see that jewel price and demand for all the things within the ecosystem to go up, up, up. I think this is incredibly bullish. Do note that this does not mean that Jewel is going to be listed on Coinbase. That is not what this means at all. And Dreamer has clarified in Discord that this is not really a direct intention for them to do anytime soon. But what is cool is that they can onboard their tokens very easily into the ecosystem and then use the DEX within DeFi Kingdoms to obtain Jewel. So huge, incredibly bullish. I can't wait for this to happen. Next thing here is we got a little bit more details on DFK Chain and where all the Jewel gas fees are going to go. So we got official numbers now, and these were way cooler than I expected. So here is the ratio for the Jewel gas that's used on DFK Chain. Half of that is going to get burnt. 25% of that goes to the validators that are staking AVAX token to secure the network. Note that they're not staking Jewel, they're staking AVAX. And then 25% of that will go back to the Quest Fund, and the Quest Fund will be used for those leaderboards. It's currently used mostly for gardening, and then I'm sure with the quests that are being developed right now that we'll see a lot of that go in there. So super exciting. I was really happy that 50% 100% that's going to be burned, so making Jewel a deflationary token. We'll see like if that amount does exceed garden emissions. Maybe when it gets halved again, but probably not right away. But after Jewel's fully released, that will be totally deflationary, which is exciting. Jewel is here for the long term. DeFi Kingdoms team is staying around, and all the moves that they're making are kind of showing that too. What's also pretty cool here is that the onboard ramps are up and ready on Harmony right now. So right now you can buy one token directly with your debit card or bank account. I was looking at the fees, and they're actually not too bad, but really exciting that this is up and ready to go, because again, just easing on the onboard process for more users. More users means that we're all going to do well. So exciting that we can already buy our one token on Serendale right with our debit card. This ramp will be available tomorrow on Avalanche's blockchain as well, where you'll be able to buy Avalanche straight with your debit card and be able to bridge that over to DFK Chain. Just a couple of things on that. So DFK Chain, the first garden is only going to be the X Jewel to Jewel pairing, so you won't be able to buy anything else with the DEX right away. But what they're doing is that they're bringing the pangolin liquidity accessible through DeFi Kingdoms on DFK Chain, so you'll be able to swap your AVAX for Jewel via the pangolin pool on DFK Chain. So you can bridge your AVAX over, but it's not necessary. Again, Jewel is used for gas as well, so Jewel's really the only thing that you need on DFK Chain for now. If you're curious on how those garden emissions actually work out, make sure to check out my last video, and I really thoroughly go through that with y'all. But here they also released the DEX pairs that are going to be in CrystalVale. So again, first day that's going to be the Jewel to X Jewel pairing. I'm not sure if this is going to be faded out eventually or if that's going to remain there. After that, we're going to have the Crystal Jewel pair and then the Crystal AVAX pair. And then they're going to start pairing with some of those blue chips such as Crystal BTC, Crystal ETH, Crystal One, Crystal Matic, and get our two favorite stable coins. I love that they're doing Terra there as well. All right, next thing that was exciting here is that Ava Labs actually sponsored $15 million of extra incentives to be used. So let's go over how those are going to be used. First of all, it's going to be some that's going to be spent on Crystal to airdrop to current DFK users. I'm really not sure exactly how they're going to do that, but probably based on allocation of X Jewel or potentially heroes. We'll see. Next thing I think is really cool here is DEX boosted rewards with AVAX. So what this means is that they're putting some AVAX into the gardens for emissions. So not only will you be earning Crystal for staking liquidity into CrystalVale on DFK Chain, but you'll also be earning that AVAX token. So I think that's huge. That's a really powerful token, blue chip, that we're going to get on top of our Crystal rewards. And then last thing is airdrop rewards to Avalanche users. So people that are already using apps like Krabata or Chicken or Pangolin, those people are going to get airdrop some Crystal, so they're incentivized to go check out DeFi Kingdoms. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Give people a free taste of it to go check us out, and then they'll realize how dominant DeFi Kingdoms is of a project. Next thing, we knew this was coming, but our two new heroes have been announced. So we have the Seer and the Berserker. Let's scroll down here. We got some better pictures on this article as well. So, oh, that's so beautiful. The Seers got like the icy goggles, I think. It looks pretty cool. And then the Berserkers, man, that axe looks pretty brutal. So these two summoning together will make the new advanced class. They have not revealed what that is, so we'll have to find out on the day that those are minted. Hopefully get some of those pretty quickly. But yeah, I want you guys to put your guesses of what that advanced class name is in the comments. My guess, I'm thinking either a battle mage or a butt pirate. What do you guys think? Put your guesses in the comments. I'll throw some Jewel out to some of the ones that I like too. Okay, last announcement here is that they said that they're going to start creating more mini games for DeFi Kingdoms that are going to have some hero utility. So I think this is super necessary right now. Heroes just need a little bit more to do. But these hero duels, that's going to be like a mini game that they're going to try to put out, I'm assuming before combat, because combat might be a little while. And it's not really clear about how this is going to work, but we'll see the details when that actually comes. I'm really curious. This seems really similar to the grant proposal for DFK Arena that happened and was pulled back because it was kind of just a hot mess. So I'm really curious if they ended up like buying some of their assets, or if they're working with that team to do this, or if this is just something totally separate from what has been going on. So I'm really curious. We'll see. I don't know about this one. Oh, that was a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. I'm so excited to continue to be a part of this amazing community as DeFi Kingdoms continues to evolve into greatness. We are currently seeing Jewel go burr right now, so that's really exciting too. Definitely put your comments below for what you think that new advanced class is going to be. Let's hear it. You can get silly or realistic with it if you'd like. Anyway, I will catch y'all in CrystalVale. Catch you soon.